I decided to stop investing and I paid off my mortgage instead because I spent a great deal of time researching if paying off your mortgage would be better than investing. And believe it or not, I was shocked at the result. And today I'm giving you a full update on the data. I did a video about this a year ago, but it's time to update you with new data and information that makes this decision very unique. Right now, the mortgage rates are going up. They've been going up over the last couple of years. And so I thought, well, mortgage rates are one thing, investing's one thing, but which one is the better option if you plan on staying in your home for a long time? You know, we hear from Dave Ramsey, and Dave Ramsey in that group, they say pay off your mortgage as quickly as you can. But where's the numbers at? That's what we're sharing in today's video. So we're going to take two different people. Mortgage Guy, and what Mortgage Guy wants to do is he wants to pay off his mortgage as quickly as possible. Both of these people that I'm about to introduce to you, they have a 30-year mortgage. This guy over here, though, he wants to pay it off as quickly as possible. This person over here, though, does not care about that. Still has a 30-year mortgage, but he wants to take any extra money that he has and not put it toward the mortgage. He wants to invest it. He wants to grow a huge nest egg of money. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Let's hop right to the data. What we need to do, though, is we need to unfortunately look back in the past because we don't know what the future brings. We need to look at actual data from the past based on the S&P 500. That represents basically the stock market, the top 500 companies in America. You can invest in the entire S&P 500 by using things like ticker symbol SPY. And that's what we're going to use, but we got to go back 30 years from today because that's how the data rolls. Here's the set of assumptions we're going to use. This is basically a mortgage schedule. Now, one thing to keep in note, this right here, we're going to have a $300,000 mortgage payment. That's how much our total mortgage is, and we're going to pay off all $300,000. January 1st, 1995, beginning balance is $300,000, and your scheduled payment and total payment, that equals the same at $1,703 a month. That is only principal and interest. Whether you paid off your mortgage or not, you still have to pay property tax and insurance. So what we want to do is simulate what it looks like only for your actual core mortgage payment. So $300,000, and then you're going to probably question this: why did I come up with an annual interest rate of 5.5%? Well, what I did is, I decided to make it a little bit easier on myself. So I went over to ChatGPT and I asked this question: give me what the interest rate was for mortgages back in 1995. Now, it was kind of high at 9%. But we got to think, even in today's rates of 6 or 7%, as years go by, over 30 years, those rates might dip down. So even though it was 9% back in the day of 1995, that roller coaster of up and down, well, when the rates go down, most likely you're going to refinance. So what I did is I said, okay, take the time of 30 years from 1995 to 2025, and then what I want you to do is simulate a refinance and give me what that average mortgage interest rate was during that period of time. That's where we got the 5.5%. So that's what we're going to use as that example. Now you can see right over here, total interest is $313,000. So I'm going to jot that down right here on this cell at $313,212. That's how much money you're going to pay simply for having the mortgage. And that's what we're going to do. So we got Mortgage Guy on this side, we got Investing Guy on this side, and then we're going to break it down after that. So Mortgage Guy, Investing Guy, they both have extra money left over at the end of the month in their budget. It's going to be a lot. $1,000 a month. Some of you are probably falling off your seat and saying, where are you getting that from? The reason I'm going to do $1,000 a month is because the average car payment in America right now is well over $700 a month. And then you do a side hustle and you have a couple hundred more, equaling $1,000 a month. You can adjust it if you want on your own time. But for this purpose, for this video, we're going to do $1,000 a month. This person over here, they're going to put $1,000 a month extra and overpay their mortgage. This person over here is going to take that $1,000 and they're going to invest it in SPY instead. Same period of time. Now let's flash forward to 30 years later and detail this out. So Mortgage Guy paid $1,000 extra a month, which means his total interest has been reduced down to $120,000, which means this person saved $193,151.80. So that's money that they saved. Investing Guy, with their $1,000 going into SPY from 1995 until present day, well, thanks to Google Sheets, I was able to do some awesome calculation. This person, now while they didn't save money, they invested money. So that means in present day, they currently have $1,543,102. So when you look at this on a screen, you're probably thinking, well, this is a waste of time because it's clear investing guy made more money. And sure, this guy has a paid off house, but he only saved $193,000 in interest. He still had to pay his $300,000 initial principal back. And this guy's over here with $1.5 million after 30 years. It's clear that I'm going to invest the money, right? Here's where things get very interesting and why we're going to hop over to the computer and look at this a little bit deeper. This is what people miss. This is what shocked me, and it might shock you too. Let's get to it. In the loan amortization schedule, I'm going to actually delete out the optional extra payment of $1,000. So that means your total payment of just principal and interest is $1,700 a month. If we scroll all the way down here, we go all the way to the year 12/1/24, so relatively recent. But let's say you pay the $1,000 a month. Well, you get to be done with this earlier. So instead of 12/1/2024, you're done with it on 12/1/2007. So keep that in mind. Over here on this particular Google Sheet, what I love about Google, you can set up formulas, and anybody that has access to my paid Patreon membership will get access to this Excel document, or should I say Google Sheet. But you can type in whatever ticker symbol and it'll automatically fill in the actual price for whatever date is listed right here. So this goes back to January 31st, 1995, and every single month, our investing person is putting out $1,000 against SPY, buying some shares of SPY, having the total value and how much they've gained over the many years. So as I shared just a moment ago, if we scroll down here to the bottom, that $1.5 million, right there it is, $1,543,000. That represents a total of 76% that the person earned. If I go to this next sheet, this represents Mortgage Guy. Now, Mortgage Guy obviously clearly did not invest at all because he was putting his $1,000 against the mortgage, right? So this whole time, I mean, let's look here. Okay, December 31st, 1999. This person has no portfolio. This person over here is December 31st, 1999, and they have a total of $108,000 or a 44% return. So, nothing's going on. But here's the kicker. If we come down here, starting in 2008, this person has extra money to invest. See, it doesn't mean that starting in 2008, January, after they pay off this mortgage on 12/1/07, that they only put $1,000 in a month. They can actually invest more. Why? Because their total payment of principal and interest and the extra payment totaled $2,703. And the assumption is now you have that money freed up. For all this period of time between 1995 and 2007, you've been having to save up $2,700 a month and putting it toward this stupid mortgage. So you're going to put that extra money into the investment account. And so the question's going to become, because you now started all the way down here in January of 2008, are you going to be able to catch up to the person that's been investing $1,000 a month all the way back to January of 1995? Let's take a look. If I scroll down here to the bottom, in present day, SPY, right? Currently going for $500 some a month as of the end of February. This person has a total of $1,686,524 and 2,838 total shares of SPY. Whereas Investing Guy, February 28th, 2024, well, hold up. This person only has 2,597 shares, which means that, given this exact scenario, what I just shared with you here, the Mortgage Guy is actually coming out ahead, and he has more money, and they invested for a shorter period of time. Now, there's going to be some arguments that I'll go over in just a moment. But because you have extra money in your bank that you can do, your budget, right? You can actually catch up to that person. Now, it does depend on what year you start. So I do want to go back and say, yes, if you haven't taken a think about this, okay, yeah, January 2008, the market started crashing. So what's happening is because you're investing so much aggressively in this period of time in 2008, you're picking a lot more shares up, and you're actually starting on a down year with your investments, which means you're going to be able to rack up a lot more. So when the wave comes in, when the wave goes up, when things start recovering, you're going to recover a lot quicker because you started investing so much aggressively right from the beginning. But either way, here's the kicker to that. We never know when the stock market's going to take a crap. Let's be honest, nobody knows the future. We don't know if the next 5-10 years are going to be positive or negative. We don't know if something like 2008 is going to happen again. And because we don't know, we need to make sure we judge our risk. And we also need to make sure that we don't get scared. Let me give you an example. A lot of people like to rebuke the fact of, well, if I invest and the market crashes and I get laid off, I would just use my portfolio balance to then pay the mortgage off. But would you? Because take a look at this. If that happened, where there's something as extreme as 2008 happens again, because we cannot judge the future, look here. So even here in February of 2009, you get laid off. Well, your balance is only $118,000. You invested $170,000. You're down on your money by 43%. Are you really going to sell? You got to remember, the emotion takes over our control. We all go through this, right? I would be honest with you, if I saw that and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm laid off and I still got this mortgage payment and you know, mortgage guy, he's mortgage free. I should have followed his plan because he's now risk adverse. It doesn't matter now. Like he's cool. He's not going to risk foreclosing on his mortgage because he doesn't have enough cash to pay the mortgage because his mortgage is paid off. I'm stuck with this. And I'm like, okay, so if I sell this, I'm selling at a loss at $118,000. What's my mortgage balance then? Is it still higher than that? Can I afford this? And do I really want to take the loss? See, all these emotional things are going to go through your head, even if you don't get laid off. Are you going to sell this because you're worried about cutting your losses before it goes down even further, not knowing that around the corner, the market recovers? But I got some warnings I need to go over, and I'm going to put them right here so I can read through them. These warnings are important, and they could be something that you're thinking of right now, and I want to address them because anytime we talk about investing versus paying off the mortgage, there's a lot of people that get concerned. Number one, you need to stay in your home for a long time. We already kind of covered that, but do not do this if you're only going to stay around for 2 or 3 or 4 years. Not worth it. This is more for your long-term home where you can then live mortgage-free for the remainder of your life. Number two, eliminate the risk. See, like we talked about earlier, if the stock market decides it wants to crash, if things look bad, if you get laid off, if you have a health issue, and the health issue kicks your butt, it's nice not having to pay a hefty mortgage payment. Even, yes, of course, you're going to have to pay property tax and you're going to have to pay insurance and all that. That is nothing compared to the hefty mortgage payment. To me, $1,700 a month is a lot versus $200, $300, $400 a month to pay property tax and insurance. There's a big difference there. Eliminate the risk. Eliminate it, get rid of it. But the bigger warning behind that, though, is if you do pay off your mortgage early, or you're going to take the route of trying to overpay your mortgage, paying more toward the principal every month, taking all that extra money, please make sure you have a liquid asset. Because this does not mean that you're putting all your money toward your mortgage and you have nothing invested anywhere. Maybe you have some 401k going on, or maybe you do the $5 a day challenge, the investment challenge that I talk about here on the channel. If you're new to the channel, I'll link the $5 a day thing in the description below so you can check that out. And or have an emergency fund, some extra cash in your bank account. Do not put all your money into the mortgage alone, because if things get bad, you would have to then take out like a home equity loan to get the money back. That would go against the goal of getting out of debt. So always have some type of cash, some liquid asset, so that way if things go bad while you're paying off your mortgage, you can deal with it. If nothing goes bad, that's amazing. And then you eliminate the risk, everything is great. And then you end up with $1.6 million, beating your investment friend. A lot of people say you should keep a mortgage for a tax write-off. Sorry, I'm going to be blunt. Brace yourself. Hope this doesn't offend you. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why would you pay $1,700 a month to avoid paying like $200 to the government in tax? And by the way, the year 2017 changed the game completely. In 2017, there was a new act that was passed, and that basically made mortgage interest tax deduction pointless. Even though you get the tax write-off document thing every year, I think it's a 1098, it doesn't matter unless you itemize your expenses. The standard deduction right now is so high that you would have to have so much expense in your personal life to make a mortgage interest tax deduction even worth it. So I would beg to differ that me as a mortgage-free person, likely gets the same tax deduction as somebody still carrying a mortgage and trying to get the mortgage interest tax deduction. We're probably getting the same amount because we're both using that incredibly high standard deduction. So that also makes the point and the case for paying off your mortgage early, because that tax deduction has been kind of pointless since the year 2017. But remember, it's all about what works best for you. We don't need to debate if you want to invest and do it this route, go for it. That's okay. And also, if you'd rather pay off your mortgage, that's okay too. You got to assess your own risk tolerance. And you also got to know that whether you start in the year 2008 with your investments or you start in the year 2099, it doesn't matter. We just never know the future. So the biggest key point is always make sure that you're focused on your goal and you stay consistent. If you like content like this, subscribe, check out this video next. We'll see you on the next video.